Joining us now, California Congressman Bera. Thank you so much for being here. I am curious because you heard Johnson saying, yes, we have a plan. Have you heard of this plan at all? Has it been discussed with Democrats?
No, I mean, Mike Johnson doesn't have a plan. He doesn't actually care about what's happening to the American families and, how they're all being hurt. They're about to lose their SNAP benefits, food stamps right before Thanksgiving. Are you kidding me? The reason why we run for office is to take care of American families, working folks. Mike Johnson takes orders from one person, Donald Trump. He's not Speaker of the House, he's Donald Trump's lackey. And if we want to end this shutdown, one person can end the shutdown, that's Donald Trump, by picking up the phone, calling Mike Johnson, and saying, cut a deal.
You were out of the Sacramento airport standing in solidarity with TSA workers and air traffic controllers. And I just want people to see you out there and hear what you said in part.
We're going to work to support the TSA workers and federal workers that are not getting paid. We're talking to food banks and other programs, credit unions, about extending lines of credit. But the best thing we could do is actually let's give them a paycheck. That's what they want.
So today Republicans are saying, look, we have a vote to give a paycheck to essential workers. Why not just say, okay, I can agree to this for now?
I mean, I would vote on giving TSA workers a paycheck. I would vote on giving air traffic controllers a paycheck, the folks that are working every day. But I would open up the government so we can actually serve the American people. And it's not that hard to do. I heard from my constituents about $20,000 premiums that they're going to have to pay. That is unfathomable at a time when so many families are struggling. We could actually solve this. We could do good for the American people. Again, it's one person who has to make a call, Donald Trump. Mike Johnson's not going to do anything. John Thune's not going to do anything until they get the okay from Donald Trump.
So would you vote with Republicans if that comes to the floor today, that they would, on this proposal to pay essential workers who have to work during this shutdown, even though they're not being paid?
I mean, I'm not in the Senate, so I don't get to vote on that bill today. But yeah, I would vote to support and pay folks and get them that relief, because I heard the angst of those TSA workers that live paycheck to paycheck and the fact that they're struggling to get by. Yeah, we got to get them paid, but we have to get the federal government open. And again, only one person can do that, and that's Donald Trump. Mike Johnson is a weak speaker. I never would have said I miss Paul Ryan, Mitch McConnell. They at least understood Congress was a separate body. Mike Johnson takes his orders from Donald Trump, and until Donald Trump says, hey, Mike, open up the government, nothing's going to happen.
I'm curious about something that is supposedly imminent to the San Francisco Bay Area. Our reporters are told that there's an ICE operations that are headed to the Bay Area. Congressman Nancy Pelosi and Kevin Mullen have put out a statement saying in part that reports of a planned mass immigration raid in the Bay Area are an appalling abuse of law enforcement power. And they end to say that the state and local authorities may arrest federal agents if they break California law, and if they are convicted, the president cannot pardon them. Are you concerned about the clash that may cause between state, local, and federal authorities when you hear Nancy Pelosi, sort of putting out that kind of a statement?
I mean, I'm very worried. I was in San Francisco a month, 2 months ago. Downtown is safe. People are out and about and enjoying their lives. The mayor of San Francisco's done a great job getting the city back to where it is right now. So there's no crisis at hand. Donald Trump's manufacturing a crisis. He does want to see this confrontation. I would urge folks to have cooler heads. Let's follow the law, but let the mayor and the governor handle California.
Congressman, I am also curious about, just to get your thoughts on what you're seeing at the White House. There is a lot of talk, some consternation about this huge project that Donald Trump has undertaken, where he has demolished, or is in the process, we're seeing live pictures there, of demolishing the East Wing and rebuilding a 90,000 square foot ballroom. What do you think about this?
I mean, I'm appalled when I see the pictures of what's happening to the White House. That's the people's house. That is not Donald Trump's residence. He gets to stay there for a couple years, but the White House is for the American people. Those visuals are entirely disturbing. What bothers me the most, though, is my Republican colleagues in the House and Senate, crickets. They're not saying anything. Why are they so afraid to actually speak up and stand up for the American people? So many of my constituents have been reaching out to us saying, what the heck is going on in Washington, D.C.? Why are you guys letting Donald Trump demolish the White House, a symbol of America? Again, I am so disappointed in my Republican colleagues, House and Senate members who are just silent and they're so afraid of Donald Trump. Come on, guys, stand up. Let's do something. Let's be a separate branch of government.
Congressman Bera, it is a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.